perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Coverage of our Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is brought to you by the following sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, the Rail Trail Flatbread Company, a casual American dining experience with locations in Hudson and on Main Street here in Milford. Rentschler Biopharma, sponsor of our broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma transforms innovative ideas into life-saving biopharmaceuticals. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. And Unibank, big bank know-how, community bank attitude. serving the Milford community at their local branch on Prospect Street inside the Shaw's Plaza.
The local Scarlet is going to face against the Canton Bulldogs for tonight's matchup in girls volleyball. This contest is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of Hackback League and MIAA, but please be reminded that respect fans who allow the crowd, however, the MIAA, Hackback League, Canton, and Milford. Respect you choose your team and not your opponent. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and senior, Cole Jefferson. Number 4, sophomore, Colette Bond. Number 5, freshman, Brooke Connor. Number 6, junior captain, Sully Rodriguez. Number 8, sophomore, Brooke Connor. Number 11, senior captain, Caitlin Reynolds. Number 12, senior, Bella McDonough. Number 13, sophomore, Corey Lewis. Number 15, sophomore, Kelly Burke. Number 19, junior, Taylor Rose. Number 21, senior, Logan Walker. Number 25, senior, Maggie Roberts. Number 28, junior, Lola Morgan. Number 29, junior, Lillian Martin. Number 43, sophomore, Madison Connor. Number 44, sophomore, Michaela Stevenson. Number 15, senior captain, Aaron Bigham. Line number 55, junior, Fiona Trendell. And the head coach by Pat Kelly. Make some noise! And here we go. Number 1, sophomore, Brooke Stone. Number 2, junior, Lana Driscoll. Number 4, junior, Lena Newton. Number 5, junior, Isabel Doyako. Number 6, team captain, Leanne Perfecte. Number 7, senior, Mary Buckley. Number 9, junior, Abby Murphy. Number 10, sophomore, Laura Williams. Number 11, senior, Lucia Testa. Number 12, senior, Sarah Liverwell. Number 13, junior, Viola Tino. Number 16, senior, Joey Drake. Number 17, senior, captain, Danielle Gallo. Number 18, senior, Stephanie Gray. The stars are head coach by Tim Weber, he's 65. Kelly Laura, Tara Adams, and Sarah Anna. At this time, we are please rise and hold your hats. The place your athletes and the clap out will be singing our national anthem for tonight.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the gymnasium here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics here on Milford TV. It's presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Rail Trail Flatbread Company is a casual American dining experience. They specialize in an all-scratch-made kitchen featuring wood-fired flatbreads. It's an inviting atmosphere for the whole family to enjoy. You can check them out right here in Milford over on Main Street. It is once again Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coet with you on the call, entering a new week of this fall sports season. And another opportunity to see this varsity girls volleyball team in action tonight as they renew a storied rivalry in girls volleyball as they take on the visiting Canton Bulldogs from the Davenport division. Quickly jumping into action here on this Monday evening. Nicely dug out by Danny Darling as Milford settles in. They go across the net front, picked up there by the Bulldogs and popped back for Isabella Grady-Harper to make the play. A nice long rally here right out of the gates of this first set action. Milford picks up that hard blast along the far sideline. Here's Darling, just could not get that ball across the net. And a very well played opening point. Good long rally for these two teams. And Canton claims the opening point. That is the kind of relentlessness you would expect out of a program that so regularly goes very deep in the MI playoff tournament, always a threat to contend all the way to the state championship game, this Canton Bulldogs team, as Milford sends that back in towards the net, no one there to make the play, and so a couple of points here out of the gate for the Bulldogs. Serve from one of the captains on this Canton roster in Aaron Bigham. Long way to go here for the libero to track that down. Nicely done, but the ball comes back outside of the near sideline. That was a long way to travel for Melanie McDonough wearing the libero jersey for Canton here tonight. And so the serve now on the Milford side for Fiona Lentini. And sends one that cannot be returned as Milford will quickly tie things up here in this first set. Our second game of the season for this girls volleyball team. Played very well the first time we covered this team in action, which was in their season debut against North Attleboro. That was maybe about 10 days ago. 3-1 victory for Milford. Unfortunately, they have not been able to get back in the win column since they come into this matchup this evening at 1-3 overall on the season. Currently in the midst of a 3-match losing streak. Canton, meanwhile, 4-1 overall on the season. They're currently in second place in the Davenport division standings. Milford right now in 5th place position in the Kelly Rex. Serve goes too long for the Bulldogs, and so it is now Lisa Grady-Harper who will serve for Milford. Serving was a big success for Milford, big part of the reason that they were victorious in that season opening game against North. And Asa Grady-Harper, one of the most reliable servers on this team, but a couple of weapons back there. As this ball comes in towards the net, and Soli Rodriguez-Martinez trying to make the play right at the post, but could not be playable from there for the Bulldogs, and so Milford takes a 5-3 lead here. Another good serve from Asa Grady-Harper, and a dynamite return from Martinez, but Milford's able to dig it out. They'll set it up over the middle, and there is the block by Abby Murphy. Great defense to keep that rally alive for Milford. And then eventually, the nice offensive play from Murphy. Canton getting the side out. Score 6-4 here as we settle in to the first set. So just like that, tied up at 6 now. So the Bulldogs with the response. Little fingertip play at the net, nicely executed by MJ Robbins. We want to welcome in all of our viewers tuned into the coverage tonight. Whether you're joining us live locally on our Milford TV educational channel, our Verizon high definition channel, or you're checking out the coverage tonight on our YouTube live stream, happy to have you joining us. Here's Darling now on the outside, trying to get Milford back on track. Sent that one deep. Canton could not play it. And so Milford hanging tough here early against a very good program, tied up at 7. And while we talk about our live feeds for tonight's game, just a quick reminder to all of us joining us on YouTube. We're so happy to have everyone viewing the live coverage. We welcome everyone getting interactive as we keep our live chat open, giving fans a chance to get engaged with the coverage. But as always, we ask that everyone keep your comments constructive. Any disrespectful, demeaning comments for any of the players or teams involved in any of our coverage will be removed from the chat, and continued abuse of the chat will result in removing folks from our live chat, from our live stream altogether, and that's certainly not something that we want to do. We hope everyone can respect all of these hardworking high school athletes. It's a 9-7 lead for Canton now, as the serve comes from Soli Rodriguez-Martinez. And a hard blast over the middle from Murphy, gets a hard ricochet. Murphy continues to show outstanding power. Gets Milford the side out here, down by just a point. When you come into a matchup like this, when you're going up against a program with such a pedigree of success as Canton, you know, belief can be a big thing. And so if Milford can hang in this first set, really do a lot for the confidence for this team as the match goes along. Right now a 10-8 lead for the Bulldogs. Number 29, Lillian Martin, now will serve for Canton. That one met immediately by Lucia Testa. Blasted from the near side by Lentini. And now a chance here again for Lentini. And gets that out of the reach of, I believe it was Aaron Brigham up front. Two really dynamic weapons on this Canton team. Two of their captains, Aaron Bigham and Soli Rodriguez-Martinez. Can hurt you in a lot of different ways. Very talented on the volleyball court, as Abby Murphy commits the service error. So it stays a 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. These two teams have played similar opponents in the early days on the schedule. We'll compare how things have gone so far for both teams at the next stoppage of play. Before they trying to make the play up front, she'll get another chance here, blasts it back. It was the right idea. Canton in tight towards the net, but just couldn't locate that return. Sent it just wide. So Canton stretches the lead out to 12. Quick hands for Lila Driscoll, and a nice dive on the other side of the floor for Martinez. Play comes to a halt as that ball went outside the antenna, and so Milford will jump back on serve here. Lena Lubkin now serving for the Scarlet Hawks, as that return is sent too long by the Bulldogs. The head coach of the Canton Bulldogs is the legendary Pat Colley, one of the all-time great volleyball coaches. Very rich history and tradition of volleyball in the state of Massachusetts, and Coach Colley has been one of the standard bearers season after season. As this roster turns over, she continues to keep this program right at the top, contending for division titles, contending for a top seed in the playoffs, and contending for state championships. Last year brought this team to the round of 8 in the Division II bracket. Hoping to go even further this year. Milford, meanwhile, cutting this deficit back down to just a single point, 13-12. And another return sent long for Soli Rodriguez-Martinez. Martinez, Aaron Bigham, and Caitlin Reynolds, the 3 captains for the Canton Bulldogs. From the outside, that one is swatted down by Lila Driscoll. And perhaps contacting the net, hard to tell from right behind the elevated official. But regardless, Milford able to take a 14-13 lead. Another chance for Driscoll up at the net, and this time a quick response for the Bulldogs that was out of the reach of Fiona Lentini. And so that will tie things back up now at 14. And so here now is Michaela Singleton, a sophomore, serving for Canton. Decent amount of underclassmen on the Bulldogs roster this season. As Driscoll pops that ball straight up in the air, she'll come up to the net to make the return. And a little bit of an awkward play there, a rare one for Aaron Bigham. Gives Milford the lead back. Grady Harper serving on the Milford side, but first substitution on the Canton side. Of course, just as we talk about the coaching on the Canton side, goes hand in hand talking about the quality of coaching historically for these Milford volleyball programs as well. And that return is going to just sneak out beyond the back line from Reynolds. And Milford will take a 16-14 lead. Of course, head coach Tammy Weber been with this program for a long time. A lot of success. Quick hands for Grady Harper. Now here's Driscoll trying to go cross court, but sends that out in front of the Canton bench. And we saw some fun matchups back in the 2010s with Coach Colley on the sideline for Canton, and when Coach Linda Zakili had stepped back in as head coach of this Milford girls volleyball program. Quite a chess match between the coaching staffs for these 2 programs over the years. It's just been, again, a great rivalry to watch. Very good-spirited rivalry, a lot of mutual respect between these 2 programs. And we know that we've had a lot of the Canton girls volleyball fans and families who have tuned into our coverage over the years, and we're grateful for that as well. Just happy to be able to bring such a good rivalry to you here on our Milford TV coverage. Milford right now with a 17-15 lead in set 1, really challenging Canton here out of the gates. Good communication here from Milford, and again it's Driscoll trying to find a sharp angle across the net. And Reynolds sent that ball into the net, but apparently the infraction coming on the Milford side first. Milford, I believe, getting called for coming in contact with the net, so unfortunate there, as they would have had the point. Front row able to take a little something off of that. Now Driscoll with the two-hander return. And now a soft one. Lubkin will have a chance to set it up for Murphy, who gets the spike. Very successful play. Milford hopes to continue to take advantage of as this matchup goes along. Perhaps not quite the same level of height on this Canton squad as we've been accustomed to in seasons past. It's a little bit more of an even battle from that standpoint. So Milford now with an 18-16 lead. Coach Cawley calling a first set timeout here to pause the action. So that will give us a chance to take a look back through how the early portion of the season is gone for both of these teams as we get the notes pulled up. So Milford, after that win against North Attleboro, they took on Sharon in a home matchup, lost that one 3-1, and then back-to-back 3-set sweeps at Stoughton and then at Attleboro. Canton also matched up with Attleboro in Attleboro to open their season and suffered a 3-set sweep defeat. Since then, they have not lost, sweeping Foxborough and Sharon along the way. They also swept the North Attleboro Rocketeers before winning their most recent matchup 3-1 on the road against North Quincy. So again, a lot of the opponents the same there, Attleboro, Sharon, and North Attleboro amongst them for these two teams. Out of the timeout, Lila Driscoll with a service error, so that will make it again just a 1-point margin at 18-17. Milford crowd staying active as Lillian Martin delivers the serve. Quick strike for Lena Lubkin at the net. Caught Canton by surprise. Gets the kill. And Monforte coming back out onto the court as Abby Murphy will step back behind the service line. Quality serve this time from Murphy. And a strong cross-court return. It was too strong in the end for MJ Robbins. And this one drops in for the ace. Canton took the chance, hoped that ball was going to go out, but dropped in just in front of the back line, and Canton calls another timeout as all of a sudden the Scarlet Hawks find themselves 4 points away from taking this opening set. 21-17 in favor of the Scarlet Hawks. All of a sudden now into the third full week of this fall sports season. We've been sharing with you our coverage throughout this month of September. As this week goes on, we've got 2 more games coming up for you after this volleyball action this week. We'll start to share with you our coverage for the month of October. Still several more contests for this girls volleyball team coming up on our schedule, but right now everybody focused in on the task at hand here. The sub-varsity squads giving Milford a great atmosphere here. Keeping it loud as now we're ready to resume out of the timeout. They set it up on the outside, and again, Canton struggling to find their stroke. Another one sent long off the near sideline. Murphy looking to keep it going. Dug out on the back row, and now this one gets the deflection off the front row and down, effective that time for Robbins. Gets a side out for Canton as they trail now 22-18. Robbins now on serve for the Bulldogs. Long way to travel for Lupkin, and then an excellent job by Driscoll getting that ball back across, but Canton in good position for the spike. And so 2 quick points back now by the Bulldogs. Another serve from Robbins. Milford lets it go, and that drops down on the back line for the ace. So we saw that from Canton moments ago. Milford now victimized by giving up on a serve too soon, and all of a sudden back down to a 2-point margin. Here come the Bulldogs. Milford not taking any chances, letting that ball go this time. A soft little lob from Aaron Bigham. And Milford able to keep it airborne, but then Bigham with the spike. And now all of a sudden a sharp shift in momentum just when it looked like Milford might have this set in hand. And now it is Coach Weber who has to call the timeout. So now the Scarlet Hawks looking to make adjustments. So again, we'll just show you quickly as we continue on this week. 2 more games coming up. They'll both be outdoors, as we'll have both of the varsity soccer teams covered as the week goes on. In fact, tomorrow we'll be out in the afternoon to see the boys soccer team in action against the Attleboro Bombardiers, a battle of 2 teams right now at the very top of the Kelly Rex division standings, so that should be a fun one. And then later on this week, it will be the girls soccer team taking on their Canton counterparts. That will be on Thursday. Anxiously awaiting our next football matchup, which still isn't for another week and a half or so, as the football team still buzzing after their huge victory on the road in week 2 against the Leominster Blue Devils to go to 2-0 on the season. Meanwhile, the service error out of the timeout by Canton, so Milford gets the side out, 2 points away from the first set. Lupkin serving, and then set up for the spike. So we've seen that play executed on the Milford side with Abby Murphy, and Milford needing to watch out for Chloe Dubuisson. Very athletic over the middle with a lot of downward motion. And a whiff up front for Maforte, but Brady Harper there to bail out the play, and now the return goes long for the Bulldogs. So Milford gets the serve back. They have set point here. They'll have 2 if they need them. Looking to get it done right here with Fiona Lentini on serve. They again set it up over the middle, and this time Dubuisson gets Milford completely deked with the changeup. And so 1 more set point here for the Scarlet Hawks, but on the Canton serve, it'll be Michaela Singleton. Dug out by Driscoll, and now the return over the middle. To the outside now, it's Grady Harper with the dig. And now Driscoll with the punch to the middle of the floor. Canton scrambling, they're able to get the return. Now Lupkin will set it over the middle for Maforte, who spikes it down for the decisive point in the set. So Milford just barely holds on, and they take this first set against Canton 25-23, so a great start here for the Scarlet Hawks. Still a lot of positivity from both teams after a hard-fought set, so really anything goes here the rest of the way. A 1-0 lead for the Scarlet Hawks over the Canton Bulldogs as we bring you this action live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. We'll be back with second set action in just a moment. Stay tuned to the coverage here on Milford TV. It's presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Welcome back into our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. We begin the second set in this varsity girls volleyball matchup between the visiting Canton Bulldogs and the Milford Scarlet Hawks. Milford winning the opening set 25-23. A lot of lead changes, a lot of little shifts in momentum as that first set went along, but Milford executing late. Big service game from Abby Murphy, along with some terrific plays up front. A big reason why Milford was able to win that set. Canton, meanwhile, stayed in it thanks to plays like that one right there from Chloe Dubuisson, but that time Milford had the right counter with Darling and Reforde up front. Service error from Fiona Lentini. That'll give the Bulldogs a quick side out. Serve from the captain, Aaron Bigham. And now down the line, too strong for Brooke Connor, the freshman. And we talked about it as the Canton underclassmen chant out that Brooke Connor, in fact, is a freshman. But a lot of underclassmen making contributions on this Canton varsity roster, maybe a little more than what we've seen in past seasons, as they get the good play up front from Dubuisson again. In total, 7 underclassmen on the varsity roster for Canton. Brooke Connor, the lone freshman, the rest all sophomores, as Milford elected to let that serve drop, going for an ace, and so a solid start here for Canton, up quickly 5-1. That forces a timeout from Coach Weber. And again, we've already talked about it so much in this match, but the ability for these two coaching staffs to make in-game adjustments. And so Coach Cawley showing just that out of the gates here in the second set, with Canton already taking about as big a lead as either team had at any point in the first set. Milford had at one point expanded a lead out to 22-17, so 5 points, the biggest lead at any point in the first set. And the lead right now for the Bulldogs at 4, as Bigham will serve out of the timeout, and that'll make it a 5-point lead. Bigham continues to serve. Over to the near side here for Darling. Was able to get the deflection off the front row and could not be played from there. So finally Milford able to slow the momentum for the Bulldogs. Goes to a 6-2 score. Grady Harper, good strong straight line serve right to Melanie McDonough. Milford with a rejection at the net. Now a quick strike. In position to get the return. And good athleticism over towards the near side for, again, the freshman Brooke Connor. And Canton to the back. Does that stay in? No, it does not. And a whole bunch of officials over in the Milford bleachers feeling differently. We get a second look at it on the live stream, and oh boy, that looked like it was inside that back line. So perhaps the Milford fans with a legitimate argument there, but not really any conversation. The officials very definitive with the call. And so that puts Canton back on a roll now. Milford lets another serve go. That one was well inside the back line, so an easy ace for Michaela Singleton. And so Canton flexing their muscles now in the early stages of this set. 7-point lead. Dug out well that time by Lila Driscoll. Abby Murphy with a powerful return, but Canton able to absorb it. This time on the outside for Driscoll. Just could not make the play. A lot of power on that outside position for Driscoll, but needing to time those jumps just perfectly, as she doesn't have quite the height of some of these other outside hitters. All the way over with one touch for Driscoll that time. And now Darling trying to block, but Canton again emerges with the point, and a lead nearly reaching double digits now for the Bulldogs. Coach Weber trying to give her team a chance to play their way out of this. Diving play for Driscoll that time. Now Murphy. Perfect strike over the middle, nothing Canton could do, and so a very badly needed side out for the Scarlet Hawks. Trailing by 8 now as Lucia Testa will take over on serve. To the near sideline. Too many touches on the Canton side as Penny LaRose tried to keep play alive for Canton. Solid swing behind the service line for Testa. Good positioning again for Driscoll. And a rejection for Abby Murphy. Gets the block, that ball dropping down in play. And so Milford starting to rally now. Deficit down to 6 as that serve was off target for Testa. Some better things in those last few rallies for the Scarlet Hawks. Can they build on that? Here's Driscoll popping this ball to the near corner. Now swatted over the middle. Lentini, a good play in the back. That ball might have gone out on the near sidelines, but Canton plays it. And now cross court is in. Milford pulled the hands down, but again, that ball dropped down in the court. So a lot of the shots that were missing wide for Canton in the first set are now finding their way between the lines here in the second set, and it's made a big difference. Brady Harper having that ball go behind her. Nice bid for Lentini, but nothing she could do. And the lead back up to 9 points. And Coach Weber needing to call another timeout. Give us a chance to acknowledge our sponsors, hoping to make our Scarlet Hawks coverage happen. Coverage brought to you in part by Unibank, big bank know-how, community bank attitude. Serving the Milford community at their local branch on Prospect Street. It's right inside the Shaw's Plaza. And of course, Scarlet Hawks athletics coverage on Milford TV is also brought to you in part by Rentschler Biopharma. They are the sponsor of our broadcast booth. With a state-of-the-art facility and a commitment to excellence, Rentschler Biopharma is poised to tackle the most complex challenges in biopharmaceutical development and manufacturing. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. And of course, our presenting sponsor of Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. They just released their new fall brunch menu this past weekend. Did you go out to one of the Rail Trail locations here in Milford or in Hudson to try those new fall treats? If not, I'm sure you do so coming up. They'll have their full fall menu out. And you know, our Milford TV staff will be making our way down to sample some of those new fall menu additions. Serve out of the timeout, meanwhile, for Melanie McDonough goes just beyond the back line. This time Milford judged it well. And so again, the service game starts for Milford, trailing by 8. Great diving play again for Driscoll, and then it's Lentini at the net. She finishes it off. And now Driscoll will serve and has that ball go off the hands of McDonough, unreturnable. For getting a couple of quick points back. That ball nearly skimming the tape on the net as it went past. Lentini keeps this ball playable, punched over by Murphy, but it goes out of play. Good to see the attitude out there for Abby Murphy. So much goes right when she touches the ball, but in times like that where the play is not executed the way that she would hope, keeps a smile on her face, stays engaged with her teammates, very positive out there at all times. So far, Milford has not been able to whittle this deficit any lower than 6 as the second set has gone on. Hard work over the middle by Murphy, and this time it's Lubkin. Thought she had the misfire there, but gets the good news from the officials. That point awarded to Milford. Canton reaching over the net on that spike. Now a hard deflection, and Canton cannot track it down over by their own bench. We've seen mascots, good luck charms on the sidelines before for volleyball teams. Milford famously carrying around the ladybug in the past. Looks like Canton has what I believe might be an inflatable horse on their sidelines. Knowing our intrepid cameraman Patrick Garapi, I'll get that on camera for you at some point. Here's Lentini now, trying to come in towards the net, just ran out of room, ran out of time to make that play. And so again, Milford briefly cuts the score to a 6-point deficit, but Canton gets the side out. Milford needing a more extended run to try to get back into the second set. And Milford sending that ball up to the top of the net, and an easy spike two-hander for Brooke Connor, who continues to show all kinds of potential. And again, not a surprise to see that Canton is poised to contend in the present and the future all at the same time. Milford gets the serve back. Back to Lubkin. I believe I saw before the match today, Athletic Director Peter Boucher posting that Lena Lubkin's the most recent recipient of the Scarlet Hawk of the Week. Lubkin again trying to set up towards the net. This time Lentini made the adjustment. And too many touches on the Canton side. So that's the second time we saw Milford try to execute that play leading Lentini in towards the net. That time again she was too far back, but hesitated and instead lobbed the ball back over. Good adjustment there for Lentini. Driscoll pushing back towards the front, but to a vacant spot on the floor. A little miscommunication there for the Scarlet Hawks. And so again, Canton serves up by 7. That serve just sneaking over the net, and a communication breakdown as Lila Driscoll and Lan Manforte caught looking at each other. And Canton now 5 points away from evening this matchup at a set apiece. Back to MJ Robbins on serve. A little short there. Fiona now serving for the home team. Lentini races in to set it. Now the light touch for Dubuisson. And this time with the smash, but Milford again is able to adjust. And point for Milford there, as both teams came right to the net. Again, can Milford cut this deficit below 6 points? To the outside here, the smash is long, and so for the first time since the beginning of this set, Milford's cut the deficit to 5. Can they continue to chip away? Right to the net, and Canton could not time that quite right, and now it's down to a 4-point margin, and Coach Cawley calling the timeout. Had a few words for the official down on the floor before joining her team in the huddle, and this will prompt a little conversation here amongst the two-man officiating crew. So this is the closest that this match has been, or this set has been, excuse me, since the beginning points. Canton opened up this second set on a 6-1 run and only continued to tack onto that lead from there, but 20-16 now, so Milford has given themselves a fighting chance here in the second. Milford back out on the floor. Lentini ready to continue the service game. Driscoll, Darling, Maforte, Lupkin, and Grady Harper round out the 6 on the floor right now for the Scarlet Hawks. Serving it 16-20. To the back row, Lentini there. And now Darling. And bodies diving at the net front for Canton. They're able to scramble and get it back to McDonough, who gives the return, and Milford caught completely out of position, all in tight towards the net. Felt like they may have had that point won. And so it could have been Milford serving down 3. Instead, it's the side out for Canton, back up to a 5-point lead. And good court awareness there for Darling. So 21-17, Milford needing to stay razor sharp with the focus here. Set up to the far side, and that one is long. That time the freshman sending it out. She'll sub out here as Fiona Trindell, the junior, comes onto the floor for the Bulldogs. Grady Harper, another serve. Hard deflection, sent back to the middle. Good, calm veteran play there for the Bulldogs. As now Murphy responds with a couple of good returns, and that one gets the job done. And back into the timeout we go. So Milford, all of a sudden now, trailing by just 2, trying to overcome a big early deficit that they have trailed in this second set by as many as 9. But they've done some good work here late in this second set. We talk about this being a good rivalry between these two schools. We know that these are two programs that do push one another. Unfortunately, the final results have not been competitive. We can trace the last 20 head-to-head meetings for these schools going all the way back to the 2012 season. And the Canton Bulldogs have won all but one of those matchups, 19-1 against Milford since 2012. But Milford looking to change the history of this matchup, at least here today. A chance to continue to fight back in this second set. Lobbed back across by Bryn Connor. Here's Murphy. Little underhand return. Canton answers back with a soft return themselves. Now That one sneaks over the net and cannot be played from there by Canton. Milford gritty in that rally, and now it is a 1-point game. Brady Harper continues to serve. Now dug out by Issa. Here's Murphy over the middle. Hard return, but Canton able to take care of it, and Canton cannot make a play. Danny Darling came in guarding the net for the Scarlet Hawks, and we are tied at 21. Brady Harper to the near sideline this time. Push to the back row for Lentini. Lupkin will set it up for Driscoll. She goes cross court. Now Dubuisson on the outside. She's able to make the play. No matter where she is positioned, she is dangerous. And so it gives the Bulldogs the lead back now at 22-21. Back to Michaela Singleton on serve. Helped give Canton a big lead earlier in this set. Milford with a couple of awkward deflections there could not send that ball back across, and now Canton is 2 points away from leveling this match. Dug out by Driscoll. Here's Darling now. Over the middle for Dubuisson. Pins it inside that back line to give Canton set point chances. Three consecutive points now for the Bulldogs after Milford had tied the score at 21. Long way to go for Lupkin. Hoisted back across by Lentini. And now pushed to the back, Lentini, nice control. And then blasted into the net by Driscoll. And so the Bulldogs able to right the ship in the closing points. They win the second set 25-21. And so now we are all even at a set apiece. And so we start over now. Best of three will continue on into the third set as we bring you the coverage live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Stay tuned to this coverage of Milford Varsity Girls Volleyball here on Milford TV. It is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Beginning the third set now between Milford and Canton, tied up now at a set apiece. Milford winning the first set 25-23, Canton winning the second set 25-21, so not much has separated these two teams so far. Canton made a big run in that second set to go up by 9. Milford battled back. They tied it at 21, but could not complete the comeback in the set. So best of 5, now a best of 3. And Canton out of the gate strong again here in the third set, claiming the first 2 points. Danny Darling trying to hook that ball back across. But Milford called for too many touches. And it's 3 straight now for the Bulldogs. Aaron Bigham serving for Canton. Darling with the fingertips down the line. Now Darling from the far side hoists it over. And there again, the deception for Chloe Dubuisson, who we've seen all match long with the power to slam that ball down for a spike, but can also change the tempo like she did right there and got Maforte off on her timing. And now Lentini with a blast into the net, and so a similar start here to the third set for Canton as we saw in the second. They won 5 out of the first 6 points in the second set. On a 5-0 run to start the third. Lentini to the middle. Now pushed back. Some good luck at the top of the net for Canton. Good defensive play for McDonough. And now the deflection off Issa Grady Harper's hands and out of play. And Canton dominant to start this third set. And Coach Weber trying to slow things down here for her team. She calls the timeout. So we talked about it, 19-1 Canton against Milford. The last 20 times these two varsity programs have met. Last season they played in Canton. The Bulldogs with a 3-set sweep. Relatively competitive in the third set, but otherwise pretty standard win for the Bulldogs. Even more dominant in 2023 in a 3-set sweep. That included an opening set that Canton won 25-7. They played a 4-set match in 2022 in which Milford won the first set, and the margins all very close in sets 2 through 4 as well, but Canton able to win each of those sets to win the match 3-1. But the Bulldogs also winning 3-1 in 2021. And so far in the recent history, Milford has not been able to get more than a single set in these matchups against Canton. They're hoping to change that today, but right now struggling to get a single point in this third set. There's Lubkin setting things up for Darling, but that ball quickly comes back the other way. Now a hesitation before Driscoll was able to step in and get a return from Milford. Now Dubuisson with another rocket that gets deflected off out of play. And it is 8 consecutive points to start this set for the Canton Bulldogs. If you're wondering when the last time was that Milford won, where was that single win in the last 20 head-to-head matchups? It came in the 2017 season here in Milford, and it was a 3-set sweep. So we just have not seen a lot of very long matches between these teams. Great effort for Aaron Bigham as well as Chloe Yun over in that near corner. Could not get that ball back towards the net, and so the run ends at 8-0 for Canton to start this set. Lentini will arc it back across. A couple of cautious returns for Milford. Now a hard blast from Soli Rodriguez Martinez. Steps in for the dig. And now this time, Darling was able to adjust to the timing of Chloe Dubuisson, but Canton ultimately victorious in the point. A comfortable lead in this third set as they go back to Michaela Singleton on serve. She has been one of their most reliable behind the service line in this match. Here's Driscoll. Good accuracy there for Lila. She gets the kill. Lisa Grady Harper once again has been one of the top servers for Milford in this match. Nothing new for Isa. To the outside now, that ball spins over the net on the return for Penny LaRose. Ricochets off of Driscoll's hands and out of play. Serve now for the libero, Melanie McDonough, as Canton enjoys a 10-3 lead in this third set. And too easy over on the far side. Good communication in between, led by Fiona Lentini on the floor. Over the middle, soft touch for Abby Murphy, and it was easily read by the net front presence for the Bulldogs. And the lead back up to 9. Still a lot of intense communication from Coach Cawley to her players on the floor, even after collecting that point, enjoying a 9-point lead overall in the set, but Coach Cawley still knowing there are things that can be improved. Set up over the middle. Diving bid for Driscoll, and then underhand return for Grady Harper. From the outside, it's Lentini who's able to pick it up. Now Driscoll to the back. Sent it just too far. And another timeout is called. So Milford, I think, starting off so well in this match, but starting to slip away here, down by 10. Trying to avoid a 4th consecutive loss. The competition going to stay tough for Milford. They'll have another home game coming up on Wednesday of this week, as Milford will host the King Philip Warriors. KP right now a game under 500 on the season at 2-3. Then later this week they'll travel to Mansfield to take on a Hornets team that is 1-4 to start their season. Right now a 2-team race in the Davenport between Canton and Oliver Ames. Oliver Ames perfect out of the gates at 5-0. Canton 4-1, and then things drop off considerably from there. North Attleboro, after that tough loss to open the season to Milford, they've at least pulled themselves to 3-2. After that, it's 1-4 for Mansfield, 1-4 for Stoughton, 0-4 for Foxborough. Milford gets the side out. Lucia Testa will return to the floor to serve. Nine-point deficit for Milford. And Lupkin doing her best at a height disadvantage up front. Commits the infraction. Keeps a smile on her face. And the lead again, double digits for the Bulldogs. Lupkin trying some deception there. Canton able to read it. Over to the sideline. Lila Driscoll going all the way behind the podium for the official. Desperate to try to make a play, but just ran out of room. Another one goes into the net for Milford, and so the deficit continues to grow here. It's been a tough third set. Milford fell behind in the second, but were able to play themselves back into it. But right now facing their largest deficit of the match at 12. Able to get one back there. Can Lila Driscoll put this team on a run? Able to dig that one out. Now here's Lentini up front. Pushed back by Bigham. Played to the far side for Canton, and now Milford will respond with Lentini. A diving effort for Melanie McDonough. Gave everything she could there to keep that play going. Her teammates love the effort. So a chance to cut the deficit back down to single digits here for the Scarlet Hawks. Lupkin pushes it across the way to Lentini. Going down the line. And then that ball out. Canton was ready to celebrate, but that ball just snuck out over the back line. And a nice block by Abby Murphy. 4 straight points for Milford. Trying to put something together here. Continuing to feed Penny LaRose on the outside. And again, Milford is able to have success. Trying to make it a 6-point margin here. A tremendous dive from Driscoll. And then the kill for Fiona Lentini. And all made possible for another fearless dive for Lila Driscoll, who again is not the tallest out there on the floor, but the effort that she shows, and again, just the fearlessness with these dives. We've seen her all night long diving all over the floor, trying to keep plays alive. Leads to the kill for Lentini there, and Milford able to cut this deficit in half now from 12 down to 6. And the only problem here in these last 2 sets for Milford, we've seen some very good stretches from this team, but they've all come with their backs up against the wall, having to dig their way out of massive deficits. requiring a lot of effort, and ultimately the comeback fell just a little bit short in the second set. We'll see what happens here. Facing the largest deficit of the match so far at 12 points, able to cut it down to a 16-10 margin as they retake the floor. Driscoll still serving. Push to the outside for Colette Ma. And now over the middle, this ball pulverized out of play by MJ Robbins. Goes completely out into the lobby. And it's ultimately Sam Denegris who goes out to retrieve the missing ball, and another serve here for Lila Driscoll. And that time the dive falls just short. Well, you couldn't have asked for much more out of Lila Driscoll there. Quality service game. Cut it down to a 5-point margin, back up to 6 here as Canton gets the side out. Lillian Martin serving for the Bulldogs. Luke can hoist that ball back over the net and then driven down on the outside by Brooke Connor. It's the freshman again with a terrific play that electrifies the Canton fans in the crowd. Milford able to respond, getting the side out. Abby Murphy now serving for the home team. And Milford doing everything they could there as the setter pulled some trickery for Canton. Executed well. And Canton with the serve back up 19-12. Robbins serving for the visitors. Lupkin will set it for Lentini. Gets the deflection off of Bigham, down for the kill. Back to a 6-point game. And Lupkin drops an ace on an unsuspecting Canton back row. Milford crowd loves it, as this one does go long. And so a 6-point lead again for Canton, 5 points away from taking the lead overall in the match, as their captain takes over on serve, and it is Chloe Dubuisson with another spike. What Chloe Dubuisson might lack in height, she makes up for with an incredible vertical leap. It is so impressive. The height she gets on these jumps, the hang time, just levitating there in midair as she delivers these spikes down onto the other side of the floor. What a weapon to have up front. Here's Darling, able to get a deflection. Milford takes the point. And some ground to make up. Trailing again by 7. Soft touch on the outside. Driscoll able to dig it out. And Darling, very soft two-hander. Canton just barely was able to get to it. And hard blast for Driscoll, but that one sent all the way over into the Canton bench. And the side out for the Bulldogs, just 2 points away from ending this third set. So here is Michaela Singleton, the sophomore, with 2 points left to get for the Bulldogs. And Issa Grady-Harper with just a bad angle there on the serve, and a whole lot of set points now for the Canton Bulldogs. The serve from Singleton just sneaks over the net. And that finishes off the most lopsided set we've had so far. Canton wins this third set by a 10-point margin. And they'll take the lead overall in this match, 2-1. Milford will now fight to force it to a fifth and deciding set. We'll see if they can do it, as once again we bring you the action live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. This is coverage of Milford High School varsity girls volleyball here on Milford TV. It is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Tim Coet back with you once again on the call here. Scarlet Hawks athletics coverage on Milford TV presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. We begin set number 4 with Canton now leading in this match 2-1. Danny Darling with a nice play on the outside, and the Scarlet Hawks with their first lead that they have enjoyed since they won the first set 25-23. They did not lead at any point in the second set nor the third, as Canton took those sets wire to wire. A hard blast, and Issa Grady Harper able to absorb some serious velocity there. Over the middle now, much easier one for Grady Harper to handle, and now Lila Driscoll airmails that ball out of play on the near sideline. Milford looking to avoid a big run here for Canton out of the gates in this set. That is what the Bulldogs have been able to do in the last two. Went on a 6-1 run to open the second set, went on a big 8-0 run to start the third set. At the peak, leading that third set by as many as 12, as Driscoll drops that ball down and apparently just outside of that far sideline. That was close. Michaela Singleton serving for the Bulldogs. She has been excellent. Long way to go for Lupkin. Darling. And now a misplay on the near side by Colette Ma. Coach Colley has mixed in some different personnel at those outside hitter positions as the match has gone on. Good depth on her bench as always, and a rare misplay by the libero, Melanie McDonough. So Milford with a 3-2 lead. Not able to get a lot of hang time on that ball for McDonough. She's been handcuffed by a couple of good serves from Issa Grady Harper. As Milford takes a 4-2 lead, looking to push this match to a fifth and deciding set, something that is very rare in this matchup. That ball deflected out of play to give Canton the side out. And in those matchups, going all the way back to the 2012 season, none of those went 5 sets. 4 is the longest we've seen any of these matchups go. And as a matter of fact, a lot of them have been sweeps. From 2012 to 2017, these two teams matched up quite a bit up until the end of the 2010s. These teams were division opponents, so they played each other twice. But these teams played 11 consecutive matches from 2012 to their first meeting of 2017 that were all sweeps. All but one of them won by the Bulldogs. Milford winning a set in this match against Canton. It's the first set they've won against the Bulldogs since 2022, but the question is, will they be able to get another? Canton pulling back in front, now 6-4. Serve from McDonough, met by Lentini. Now here's Murphy over the middle, sends it too long. 3-point lead now for the Bulldogs as McDonough takes a couple of dribbles and now sends that serve right to her counterpart, Issa Grady-Harper. And now Driscoll with a return that goes too long. Coach Weber will talk things over. So again, we hope you'll join us tomorrow as we will return to the turf field for boys soccer action. Milford taking on the Attleboro Bombardiers in a match that will begin at 4 p.m. And then on Thursday, it will be girls soccer action here on Milford TV as the girls host the Canton Bulldogs. And Thursday at 4 p.m. for the start of that match. Boys soccer team with a nice victory at home last Friday to close out our coverage last week. We were here out on the Milford turf for that non-conference matchup against the Medway Mustangs. Milford winning it 2-1. Boys soccer team again in good form in the early days of this season. So we'll see if they can keep on the winning track when they take on Attleboro tomorrow afternoon. Another good serve for McDonough. Now Murphy from the outside with some spin on that return. Canton gets it back over. Lentini with the dig. Now the return on the outside for Driscoll. Popped high in the air. And Murphy adjusts up to the net. Able to get the point. Stays close. 3-point difference on the scoreboard. Now Lucia Testa trying to get this team into a groove, but unfortunately the service error. Over the middle for Murphy. Able to get the kill. Coach Weber has kept her rotation pretty small for this match today. We've seen Driscoll, Murphy, Grady-Harper, Lupkin out on the floor virtually the whole way. Lentini virtually the whole way. It's just been the small rotation with Testa, Danny Darling. And Maforte getting some time as well, but not a big rotation like we saw last time around against North Attleboro, but certainly a different kind of game as that ball drops down on the near sideline. Canton electing not to play it. Milford gets the point. They'll serve down 10-7. Strong serve to the back row by Murphy. And now the return for Canton, grabbed a piece of the front row. And this Milford team has not gotten down over these last 3 sets, despite the score really not being in their favor. They've stayed very positive out on the floor, very lighthearted with each other. They're falling behind in this 4th set now 12-7. And that serve just barely long. First glance, that looked like it maybe stayed inside that back line, but definitive call from the officials. So Lupkin now will serve for the Scarlet Hawks, getting a second look at it. That was beyond the back line. Push to the near side. Milford standing tall up front. Getting a couple of points back here. 3-point margin. Hoisted back for Lila Driscoll. Now Lentini trying to circle around that ball. Does not quite look comfortable making that play. Lentini sending that one out. After this match, Canton will return home to host the only team they're currently trailing in the Davenport Division standings, the Oliver Ames Tigers. And then they'll close out the week taking on the Taunton Tigers. Both of those matches at home for Canton. Milford gets the serve back. It's 14-10 Canton. Milford needs a win here in this set to push us to 5. Brady Harper setting it up for Danny Darling back out on the floor. Up to the net. And the infraction up front for Canton. Good service game here for Fiona Lentini. There's DeBuison. That shot met by Lukin. And now it's Driscoll again. A lot of power for Lila, just trying to get that proper elevation at the net to be able to get those returns across. Ball quickly deflected out of Milford's reach. And the lead goes back up to 5 with the dangerous Michaela Singleton behind the service line for the Bulldogs. Lukin setting it up towards the net, but no one there to track it down. Darling was the closest, but she couldn't get there. The lead for Canton up to 6 as Milford calls the timeout. So certainly high hopes that this would be a competitive one between these two rivals this evening with the way the first set played out, but certainly a credit to Canton. They have continued to get better and better as this match has gone on. Milford has shown some good fight, but unfortunately they've let Canton extend some leads out in these last 3 sets, and Canton's been able to hang on to the finish line each time, looking to do the same thing here. They're just now 8 points away. From another road win here in the Milford gym. Here's Driscoll again from the outside, and the block by Chloe DeBuison, who gets a loving but slightly aggressive shove from Soli Rodriguez Martinez after in celebration. Good times rolling on the Canton side of the floor. Lupkin will set it for Darling. And good accuracy there for Darling. Placing that well for the kill. Milford gets the serve back to Issa Grady Harper, but trailing now by 6 points in this do-or-die fourth set. Great serve, but read well by Bigham. And then that play off target. So 18-13, another serve coming up for Issa. Met again by Bigham on the back row. And then bodies going down up front. Dubuisson and Fiona Trendell getting a bit tangled. Milford cuts it to a 4-point deficit. Set up on the outside for Dubuisson. This one easier for Milford to handle. Chance for Lila Driscoll. Now over the middle for Murphy. Tries for the spike, but Dubuisson says not this time. Gives some love to the players on the bench. She'll go to the sideline, getting subbed out after a quality defensive play. Murphy taking something off that return, and Canton answers with a shot that goes out on the near sideline. Back to Lucia Testa. This ball deflects off of McDonough's hands, out of play. So Milford back to within 3. As Aaron Bigham has a little chat with the official up on the podium. We'll relay the response back to Coach Colley on the sidelines. So Coach Colley clearly upset with the positioning for Milford on that last play, calling the timeout, but gets her money's worth arguing the call with the official up on the podium to no avail. So it will be 19-16 Canton coming out of the timeout, but a little frustration, at least for the Canton coaching staff here. The Canton players still looking confident, and now we'll get some conversation during the timeout from the officials. See Milford having some fun as they check their positioning, coming back out of the timeout. 19-16 Canton here in the fourth. Lucia Testa serving for the Scarlet Hawks. And Grady Harper bailing out on that ball, hoping it would go out of play, but it stays in. Canton gets the side out, and it will be Soli Rodriguez Martinez who will take over on serve, with her team 5 points away from a match win. Down to the knees goes Grady Harper. Abby Murphy with a deflection off the front row that goes out of play. And so now the Hawks get the quick side out, as again, I believe the ball may have gone out the gym entrance. Nope, stays around the crowd. And the fans send it back over to the Milford side. Lila Driscoll serving now for the Hawks. Nice job by Grady Harper keeping that ball in the air. Lentini adjusts, gets the ball over. Quick punch from Bigham. And now Murphy drives that ball down. And Canton can't return. Milford making things interesting here late. Set up on the near side, into the net it goes. Off the hand of Caitlin Reynolds. And so down to a 1-point margin. Driscoll ready to go with another serve. Push to the outside for Lentini. Now Bigham. Driscoll takes a whack at that ball on the back row. May have been ticketed for out of play. And so instead of a tied score, it's a 21-19 Canton lead as they will deploy Lillian Martin to take over on serve. Testa, Lubkin, and Lentini. Good downward motion on that return. Abby Murphy with a sprawling play. Gets a chance at the return. It's dug out by Martinez on the other side. Now down the line. Full head of steam for Lila Driscoll, but no chance as that ball goes off the back wall, and Canton now 3 points away from the match. Frustrating for Milford as, again, they had played themselves back into it. As Coach Weber will call another timeout. This has been a lengthy match. Got started a little bit later than the expected 5:15 start time, maybe closer to 5:30, so closing in on 2 hours of time on the court. These have been some long sets, 25-23 in the first, 25-21 in the second. A little bit of a quicker set in the third at 25-15, but a long one here in the fourth. A lot of timeouts in this set as well. And again, Milford desperately hoping to hang on for a fifth set. Trying to dig deep one more time. 3-point lead for the Bulldogs as they come out of the huddle. Martin ready to serve. And Driscoll, long way to go for Lubkin. She does get there, and Milford will arc that ball back over the other way. And now the softest of returns for MJ Robbins freezes Milford in their tracks. And the Bulldogs now 2 points away from their fifth win of the season. And driven into the net by Lentini. And match points coming up now for the Canton Bulldogs. And that serve drifts long for the Bulldogs, so one match point is saved here. And Abby Murphy will serve with no wiggle room. Milford trailing 24-20 here in set number 4. As that serve, I'm not sure how Canton kept that off the floor. That looked like it hit off the floorboards before the Canton dive, but somehow that ball did stay in the air. An incredible save, and ultimately leads to the final point in the match. It was Soli Rodriguez-Martinez who somehow, someway kept that ball off of the floor to give Canton a chance at the final point of this match. They win this fourth set 25-20, and so the Bulldogs win this match in 4 sets. They celebrate another victory here against Milford on their home floor. So some good things at times here for the Scarlet Hawks, but just not consistent enough against a program of this caliber. So unfortunately for Milford, the losing streak extends to a 4th game. They're now 1-4 overall on the season. And Canton, with the victory, they improve to 5-1. So as we wrap things up for tonight, we remind you once again we'll be back in action tomorrow with boys soccer action against Attleboro. That kicks off at 4 p.m. out on the MHS turf. We hope you'll join us for that live coverage. But that will do it here for tonight. A big thank you to Patrick Garapi, our camera operator for tonight's game, and I am Tim Coet, bringing you the action live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. That final score, one final time. Canton defeats Milford 3-1. This has been a presentation of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.